What is up, guys? It's Troy at The Full Setup, back with another video for you, and today we have a review of this. This is the Blue Dento BLT HD. Now this is an aptX HD Bluetooth receiver which sells for about £75, and honestly I think it's the best Bluetooth receiver you can buy for under £100. And I know what you're thinking, Troy, I can buy Bluetooth receivers for like 20 quid. What makes this one better? Well, I'm going to show you a little bit later, but first I want to talk about your options when it comes to wireless audio and why I've actually become a little bit more of a fan of Bluetooth over the last few months as well. So option number one is to use Wi-Fi. That is the way you're going to get the most highest res audio format sent over to your devices. Okay, obviously I still believe the best way to send audio to your device is a cable, but if you don't want the cable, if you want the flexibility, Wi-Fi is the best. And for the last couple of years I've been using Chromecast Audios. They're sort of like a £2 coin size little audio device by Google that has a digital output on it. Now they don't have the best digital output on it, but it does support a few high-res audio formats, and for the price I think anyone will tell you that likes audio gear, for the fact that it was 25 quid, they were an absolute bargain. There is a problem with this though, is that Google has discontinued them. They still support them, and even with my Amazon Music I'm still able to access the multi-rooms that I've set up on Google Home, like the different speaker groups, but it's not going to be supported forever. So that's made me look at what sort of wireless audio product I want to invest into, and especially because I'm setting up all my audio gear at my girlfriend's house at the moment that I'm moving into. Where do I want to go with it? How do I want to set it up? And that's probably why I'm using Bluetooth for that. And I looked at the other options on the market. So the next one will be Amazon, because I have the Amazon Music. So that would be to go down the Echo route. The problem is with the Echo speakers is not one of them has a digital output. They do have the Echo Link, which sells for £200. That's not really that well reviewed. You know, what I want again is something that's maximum £50 to £75 that I can plug into my AV gear and I can transmit high resolution audio and potentially create groups. Again, something that you can't do with Bluetooth receivers at the moment. So that puts Amazon out of the way for now, but I've just got a feeling they're gonna do it at some point. Hopefully they release an Echo Dot with a digital output. But that brings me down to other brands as well. So a big consideration for multi-room audio would be Sonos and Bose. Now, I know both of those make award-winning speakers. All of the music, different apps that you've got, music streaming providers integrated well, lots of updates. They're just not for me. I've got friends that have got them. There's friends that I've helped set them up for. They do sound nice, but they sound nice to them. They don't sound nice to me. Okay, that's not for me. So then brings me over to what else can I use for wireless audio, and because I'm buying new AV receivers this year, one for upstairs, a smaller one for upstairs in her room, haven't told her we're having surround sound in the bedroom yet, and a chunkier one for downstairs. And I think it comes down to what provider I go with. So I'm probably not going to go Yamaha at the moment, but if I did, I would then buy MusicCast speakers. So I can put a MusicCast speaker in the bathroom, and I can put a MusicCast speaker in the kitchen, and we've got multi-room audio. Same can be said with what I will probably go for, which will be Denon and Marantz. So then I'll be using HEOS. So then I'll probably get some HEOS speakers to pop about the place. Now the annoying thing with all of those providers I just spoke about, Amazon not making them, Google discontinuing them, but the other ones, the big brands, is none of them make a tiny little receiver that is cheap, that you can just plug in to your other hi-fi gear. I'm talking cheap, I'm saying £75. That's the max I want to pay. Ideally, I want one for £30. And no one makes that because they don't want to make it. They can make it quite easily. They have all the integration, but why would you want to make it? Let's just say I've got audio gear from loads of different brands, but nothing from Denon in my house. And I go and buy all of these little Denon HEOS receivers. Okay, they've made a little bit of money, but what they want to do is sell me amps. They want to sell me speakers. They want to sell me a whole ecosystem. They're not selling it to me. So then that brings me over to Bluetooth then. What don't I like about Bluetooth? And I don't really want to show off that too much because we're going to look at it in a second. So for me, there are a couple of things I've never liked about Bluetooth, and the most importantly is the connectivity issue with it. The cutout, the fact that you've got line of sight. That is something where Wi-Fi is obviously going to win hands down. Okay, your router might need a restart one day, but that's about it. They might drop a bit of connection. You might have to reboot it, but I think I've had to reinstall one of my Chromecasts once in 3 years. So that's one of a big thing for me, and I don't think that's something we're ever going to get over. But when you are looking to buy a Bluetooth receiver, you are going to want to get one with a high gain aerial, which the Blue Dento HD has. The other thing for me has been the codec side of it as well, because Bluetooth is heavily compressed. And aptX HD isn't the highest resolution. It was LDAC, listening to LDAC on my DX7 Pro from Topping, which got me thinking, do you know what, I sort of like Bluetooth. But aptX HD can do 24-bit 48 kilohertz, so it's nothing world beating. It's not DSD level of formats and lossless audio sound, but for most people, and for most people's sound systems, if you've spent under £1,000 on a sound system, it's going to be more than enough for you. So yeah, I'm actually quite liking Bluetooth now, and that is because of aptX HD and LDAC. So let's go in and take a little closer look at this tiny little Bluetooth receiver. Okay then, so let's get the BlueDento Digital Wireless aptX. I don't know how does everyone pronounce it? I always say aptX, but I hear a lot of people saying aptX. So let's just try and say aptX for the rest of the video because it's easier, but because we're going to say that a lot. Music receiver, BLT HD. They do make 2 versions of this as well, so make sure you don't buy the lower spec model down because that doesn't support as many as the high def format. Now this is available for about £75 in the UK. But you can also get it imported to the UK from China for about £60. You might not want to wait that long for just a £15 saving. And the DAC that I mentioned earlier, which is pretty much the same DAC, literally all the same specifications. I think it's the Aurus Blumi HD. That one is about £115, £120 in the UK. So definitely go for this one. Now in America though, this is about $100 and the other one is about $115. So I would probably put it down to which one you prefer the look of. You know, it's only $15 in it. It's not huge amounts of money. Some focus. Wireless music receiver, aptX and DAC built in. Just got the BlueDento. Shenzhen audio. aptX and DAC built in. There's a little picture of it, but we're going to see it in a second. And then over the back here we have some specifications as well. So you just read that out. But the DAC that it's using is a Burr Brown PCM 5102A, which is the exact same DAC as the Aurus Blumi HD. And they support all the same formats. Same DAC. This one's cheaper. Buy this one. 32-bit, 384 kilohertz. Do you know what? The other company were actually going to send me their DAC as well. And I sort of said no. Probably should have got both to compare them if there was a difference. Just because I knew that I was just going to push you at this one the whole time. And I just didn't think it was fair on them. So I think this is the one to go for. I'll put the DAC down to one side. What have we got in the box? Wires, which is quite good. I've not really seen most of the sort of cheaper China-based audio stuff have not come with included cables. Now, do they look like high quality cables? Definitely not for this money. Now they look to be gold plated on the RCA. Doesn't look nice. But I'm going to use my own cables, and I think most people will as well. But it's good as well, just while you're setting it up, you can plug it all in, because you never know, you might not like it, you might decide you want to send it back, and then you've got to send back loads of cables you bought. So then there is a 3.5mm jack to phono as well, so it's nice that's included. I think I'll put that to one side because every now and then I'm like, oh, might need that cable. Then there is a power cable, but there's no power brick. Let's have a look at the power. So you're probably going to want a USB plug to plug this into, or the chances are you may be adding this to a pair of like powered monitors that might already have a USB on the back. AV receiver, you know, like your TV, you might be able to power it from that, but it's probably best to use its own brick. Comes with a little optical cable as well to get yourself started. Again, I'm going to be using my own cables for this testing. And then we have a quick start guide. It's Bluetooth, isn't it? It's generally a light on. There's a light on if you're connected, there's a light on if you're not. And a nice little baggie. Keep that one from a stash. And let's have a little look at the device here. It is very small. Let's get the dimensions for you. It's about 1 inch. It says 1 inch thick. It's just in inches on here. Oh, we're holding it upside down. So both of the DACs did have the aerial at the front, which was just, it was the only thing I didn't like when looking at both of them. But you know, maybe it helps with the line of sight a little bit, but I would have loved to have seen it around the back. I'd make it a little bit bigger and put the area around the back. There's a pair button there. BlueDento BLT HD. I'm happy with the front of this. There's a lot of these products you see that come out from China and they've just literally got this many kilohertz DAC, and it also does this, and it also does this, and it also does this, and it just makes them look a bit trash. So I think this looks very nice. So you can get fingerprints on it. This is like a rubberized plastic here as well, which is nice. I think that's less prone to scratching. So yeah, 1 inch thick, and then 3.9 inches wide and 3 inches in depth. It's all about the inches. So here is the back. As you can see, we've got the Qualcomm aptX HD, wireless audio receiver. This is where they've got loads of stuff written. We've got the power here, which is a micro USB. Now you have a couple of options for output. So firstly, you're going to have your phone, your RCA output. So this is going to be if you want to use the DAC. So where I would be using this would be on a, say if you were plugging this into a soundbar because you weren't happy with the Bluetooth quality, I wouldn't go digital into the soundbar because then you're going to be using the soundbar's DAC. Same with maybe an old AV receiver. Maybe if you picked up a second-hand AV receiver which is over 10 years old, you're probably going to find that you prefer this DAC in it. So you're just going to be using this DAC and then you're just going to RCA out into it. Now, if you don't want to use the DAC, maybe it's because you've got a higher end amplifier, so something like the Onkyo 9110 or like the Marantz PM606, they've got pretty good DACs in them, so you're going to want to optical straight into it and use that DAC. And I know I whinged about the coaxial on a lot of products then, I prefer 2 opticals, but the plan is I'm probably going to optical into my DX7 Pro. Now, even though that supports LDAC, because it's tucked in under there and the little aerial is at the back, you can't see. Let's have a little look. Yeah, because that's plugged in there, I don't really get the LDAC's great if the phone's like sat here, but if it's anywhere else, it's a little bit annoying in the line of sight. So I'm planning to use this sort of sat up a little bit higher and just use aptX HD. Now, I did say in that review that it was cutting out quite a bit, and I've sort of nailed it down a little bit. I've gone into the developer settings on my phone and tested all the different options for just Bluetooth and trying all the different codecs. And what I found was it was actually because when I was streaming music on Amazon Music HD, because that does actually use quite a bit of bandwidth on the Ultra HD music, and then sending it to the LDAC, that's when it was cutting out a little bit more. So anything I had locally saved, it would just cut out every now and then, but it wasn't just like line of sight stuff. And I actually realized it's because my phone, it's got like it's the Honor View 20, it's got a 4000 milliamp hour battery in it. I don't play games on it, so I have it in low power mode. Turn low power mode off, and now the DX7 Pro is only cutting out when it's like line of sight stuff, or if I'm streaming a very large file. So yeah, I just wanted to update for anyone watching that video, but this is looking a lot better. This was my sort of complaint with this, the MX3. It was the tiny little aerial, so I would have preferred it around the back. I think it looks better if it was around the back, but I'm hoping this is going to be a better solution for me. So yeah, I'm sort of waffling on there, but I'm planning to use the coaxial from this to the DX7 Pro and have this sort of sat up where it's not going to get anything sort of in its way and it's got a good line of sight. So let's get this thing all hooked up.
Someone to hold me tight, that would be very nice. Someone to love me right, that would be very nice. Someone to understand each little dream in me. Someone to take my hand, to be a team with me. So nice, that would be so nice. If one day I'd find
the city meets the skyline. Knocking back the whiskey like it's white wine. Say she finished working, so I buy time till I take her guard off and put it down beside mine. It's fine, we watch the world go by. Saw the whole world through my girl's own eyes. And they will pay you like the photo size, cause everybody talks truth. No, she knows those guys, but who? Really nothing that can.
so special. You look what he's done for me. Eyes are on you. Feelings don't do it. Be sincere.
So there was just a quick sound test of the Blue Dento BLT HD. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue as its competitor, the Aurus Blumi, does it? But still, very happy with this little Blue Dento device. Let's just call it Blue Dento for the rest of it. Now, I've just kept that sound test nice and short and sweet, but there is a longer version of that available in the description below. I just wanted to get back to talking about this beautiful little Bluetooth DAC. Now, I had it paired with the Fozzy Audio BT20C, also a review for that. I'll put a link in the description below. And I was using the SKW RCA interconnects that they sent over, and I had it paired with KEF Q100 speakers. Definitely need to get a new amp to go with those speakers. I'm going to have to get a Class AB one. Any recommendations, let me know in the description. Got a few other devices here as well because they've all got Bluetooth, and I want to talk about how this compares sort of when you're going to use the RCA out, when you're going to use that built-in DAC, and when you're not going to use that built-in DAC, and then we'll talk about range at the end as well. Now, Blue Dento originally sent this over in early December, but I had a few things to review already, plus I decided to have a bit more of an extended break over Christmas. I'd been very busy at work, so I just wanted a little bit more rest time. So I've actually been using this little puppy in a lot of places, and it always comes down to, am I going to use the DAC or am I not going to use the DAC? Now, the DAC in it, Burr Brown DAC, it's not going to win massive awards or anything, but it's a very warm sounding DAC. Okay, very warm sounding DAC. Music sounds very good on it, but it's still got nice amounts of detail there. Now, it's not going to compare to the DX7 Pro at all, that Sabre DAC, but if I would say there's one thing that I did like a little bit more out of that, even though this does sound better playing the same album, can't play the anything of it because I'd get done for copyright, is one of my favourite albums is Beastie Boys' To the Five Boroughs, and I wouldn't say that's the best recorded album ever. I don't know how they recorded it, but I find if you pump it through gear which has too much detail, which the KEF Q100s are very close to being neutral, plus this big Sabre DAC that doesn't lean against any sound in the audio spectrum, it just sounded more fun on this. Obviously it sounded better through the DX7 Pro, but it sounded a bit more fun, and we'll talk about that in a second, because that's a £500 item, that's a £70 item. Couple of similar price items here. So the Fozzy Audio BT20C is a really nice little amp actually. Out of little amps that I have tested, there's no hum that comes out of this. It comes with a really nice power brick. Been quite happy with it. Does have Bluetooth built into it, and I said when I reviewed the Topping MX3 that even though this had aptX and this one didn't, this one sounded better. How do these two compare? Well, obviously it's a night and day experience. You know, you've got a little Bluetooth chip in there, it does have a DAC built into it, but this sounds a lot better. So if you're running this into a small little amplifier that already has Bluetooth, you're going to use the RCA outputs. Now, a couple of places where I decided to use the digital input. So my AV receiver downstairs is only about 5 years old. It's a Yamaha AV receiver. Didn't win the best in class for home cinema, which is what you should have bought it for, but it was praised very highly for its 2-channel stereo performance, which was something that I really wanted. For this, I found that I digitaled straight into that Yamaha AV receiver. I preferred the DAC in my receiver, but the receiver that I've got on my girlfriend's, which is due to be replaced, 10-year-old Denon amplifier, I found that I preferred to use the DAC in this. So it really does come down to, with this, and whether you decide that it's better to just buy a cheaper Bluetooth receiver that has a high gain aerial and has a digital output, is if you have something that's already got a good DAC in it, or an amplifier, something like the Marantz PM606, a lot of stuff from Cambridge Audio. You've also got the Onkyo 9010, not the UK version because that doesn't have a DAC, but the international version. Those DACs have been sort of cherry picked to go with the components that they've got. So for that reason, you would digital straight out. So that's where you might decide that the £40 item's better. But I think this is a bit more versatile because you might not always have that amplifier. You know, you might trade it for another amplifier that doesn't have a DAC. And that's where this comes in useful. Older amplifier without a DAC, very useful. How does it compare to the MX3? Well, it's a bit of a difficult one really, because again, it's got this tiny little Bluetooth aerial, and this one has actually never really been put with its line of sight out the way like the DX7 Pro is. Before I took my Denon amplifier to Jenna's, I had this running my 2 Wharfedale speakers, and as soon as anyone walked in front of me, it cut out, and that was at like 10 feet. So the Bluetooth isn't as good in this, but then you've got a DAC, headphone amp, you've got a DAC, it's a headphone amplifier, and it's also you can connect your speakers to it. So it's a hard comparison because this is normally £100, but you can often get it on sale. So I would say they're two separate items. That is an all-in-one package that you want to have on your desk or in like a study, maybe your garage. You're going to pair your old speakers with it. That's what that's for. Bluetooth wise, obviously this is better. DAC wise, I wouldn't say there's a huge difference that I noticed. That one's a little bit warmer. The topping's just a little bit more neutral. Now, over to the DX7 Pro. So like I said, this one is prone to cutting out anyway. That I've just noticed. It's more prone to the line of sight thing. And I did report that back to Topping. And when I actually put the higher gain aerial, the bigger aerial out of the BT20C, it's less. So the aerial thing is sort of correct where I think I'm going with it. But it gets tucked right out of the way. Right out of the way. Now that one has LDAC, and there's a difference. I notice a difference straight away when when I run the Ultra HD from Amazon. So that's the 24-bit 96 kilohertz. There is definitely a slight difference in audio performance, but I've actually decided to drop down in audio performance a bit, and I've been running this mostly through here with the coax cable and had it propped up on top of one of my speakers because the range on this thing is fantastic. I haven't had any cutouts in the top floor of this house, so I just live in a standard 2 up, 2 down sort of house. Below me is the kitchen. If I walked out this door here, there's a bathroom, another room, and then there's a kitchen, a lounge downstairs. Okay, so when I've gone down to the lounge, I can leave my phone on the kitchen table, on the on the lounge table. And there was probably, with me just doing all my house jobs, running around, doing updates on the computers, just bits and bobs, I think it cut out like twice. When I was cooking in my kitchen, which is right below me, cooking for about an hour, it cut out 3 times. I had the door open. The range on this thing is really good. And upstairs, me going around this bedroom, if I go into the bathroom now because I need a drink, because I've been talking too much, there will not be a cutout. And that is something that both the Topping products suffered from, and the Fozzy one would suffer from when I went downstairs. So the high gain aerial and that being at the front. So what I've done is, I'll take a slight knock when I'm going wireless and audio quality, but I know that there's not going to be a problem with it. So I'd definitely like to see some high gain aerials put on that as well. Another thing that you're just getting bored of just looking at this kit here, but one other thing I wanted to talk about as well is that it has low latency mode. And I was a bit confused with low latency mode because I was like, okay, what you'll probably have is a TV, and then you would have a speaker here and a speaker here, and you might have a center speaker, or you might have like a sound bar or something like that. And I just feel like, why would you connect to it via Bluetooth? Why wouldn't you run an optical cable or use HDMI ARC? The only option I could think of would be like if you literally had all your cables plastered in behind the wall and you forgot something. But then at some point your HDMI cable is just going to become redundant. So once your HDMI cable becomes redundant, you've got to run like a little bit of plastic up the wall anyway. I'm just waffling. But why low latency Bluetooth? I understand it, but you want it for video. I couldn't see where I'd use it. The only time I thought I'd use this is if I had like a hi-fi that was like not by my TV, but then it's going to be by my TV if it's in that room because I want to use those speakers over a soundbar. And then I thought, actually, there is a very good place where I can test this. So I took this, and I took this, 2 Jenners. I hooked up to my TV. Late at night, once everyone's gone to sleep, I watched a movie and I plugged my headphones in. And there was no sync issues. Absolutely no sync issues. I then did the same with this. And I had to adjust the lip sync on my TV. So the low latency mode does work well. I didn't understand why it'd be there, but it does work well. Anything else? Probably only con. Seeing that little blue light. Fine. As for power, I'm just powering it from the PC. Haven't noticed any difference whether it's powered from a USB plug. I plugged it into my 36 watt. I think it's got 3 USBs on it plug. Didn't notice a difference between that and a computer. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling because we've just been face down while I've been talking about stuff. Probably should have done that bit face on, but I would highly recommend this. As I said, highly recommend this. The only reason, like I said, I would buy a cheaper one is that if you are really happy with your DAC's performance and you are just going to digital straight out of it. That's the only reason I'd buy a cheaper one. But if you have older amplifiers, just that your Bluetooth isn't that capable in a sound bar, even in your surround sound, anything like that, I would definitely get one of these if you don't want to go down the Wi-Fi audio route. Anyway, as always, any questions, let me know in the description. I think you've probably heard enough of my voice now, and I'll be back with another video real soon.